Hi everybody. My first video that I did turned out really good, but then it like disappeared off the system, and then I struggled for hours last night to get day 2 done until midnight, and I couldn't get it to work. So now it looks like this is going through. It's hopefully going to render here, and I just wanted to tell you what my message is. I want to work with diabetics, type 1 and type 2 diabetics, specifically type 2 diabetics more, and then to reverse the type 2 diabetics. Currently in the United States, 54% of the population has type 1 or type 2 or pre-diabetes, and most of the pre-diabetes people don't know that they have it, and they've come there from a place of metabolic syndrome. So I also want to talk to the pre-diabetics because they're in the middle of their diabetic syndrome, and that could be 70 or maybe even 80% of the population. So it's a big market. The problem is that people are just marking time with their doctor with their conventional therapy until it's time to do dialysis, which is painful, horrible. These dialysis centers are popping up in every neighborhood. DaVita Dialysis just built a big place a few blocks from my house in the strip mall, and it costs $1 million per patient in their lifetime to do dialysis. And then what usually happens is amputations occur, blindness occurs. Diabetes was trying to get greedy with me after 14 years, and I had a series of 6 laseropathies on my eyes because my blood vessels in my eyes were bleeding. And fortunately, after 6 laser treatments, which took about a year, I was able to stop that and get my blood sugars down. The problem is 90 days ago, I walked into my new doctor who I got, and he said, on the second meeting with me, it's basically life or death for you. So you could easily die. I had 3 strokes as a result of this diabetes in the last 5 years. So I had to go from 7.7 blood sugar down to, he wanted me to be in the 6s the next time I showed up, which was October 11th. Well, I was 5.8. And he said, Tim, you no longer have diabetes. And so I figured it out. So I had basically diabetes for 15 years, had 3 strokes, almost went blind, and I figured out what I needed to do. I used keto eating, so I put my body in a state of ketosis 3 or 4 times a week, and I went on a fast. So at 6 p.m. I stopped eating, and I didn't touch food again until 1 p.m. the following day. And hour 13, I went into ketosis, where my body burns fat and not glucose. My brain actually is adapted, actually prefers the ketones, which are fat derivatives, to glucose. So it's been quite a journey just in 90 days that completely transformed my eating pattern, my sleep pattern. I got a CPAP. I understand what intermittent fasting is, and I understand what autophagy is. I didn't even know what autophagy was until a few months ago. But a Nobel Peace Prize has been given to a Japanese scientist who understood autophagy is basically self-eating, where you're eating your fat stores. So your body's burning fat for fuel instead of glucose. So I was a sugar burner. That's all I did. And that's one of the factors why I had metabolic syndrome, why I had diabetes. So I want to work with people because I believe in Psalm 139:16. The Lord talks about there's a book in heaven with my name on it written. And it's my job to align with that book and to walk that book out and to be in God's will. And Jesus goes into our future. He stands in our future, which is his now, which is really neat. He also goes behind us and protects us from our past. And so I feel a unction by the Holy Spirit to get this message out, to tell people, look, you can't follow this conventional medical advice. It's hazardous to your health. I got really angry at the beginning of this last 90 days. I read the American Diabetes Association, the ADA, was saying in their guidelines that there is no recommended level of carbs for us after all of our years of studying this, for like 100 years of studying this. Well, that's completely nonsense. I don't need an MD behind my name. I do have 4 business masters. I'm a good researcher. I know that that's disaster. Okay, well, who funds them? Big pharma, the big insulin makers. Now, I've needed insulin, but I don't need to stay on it forever, and I don't need massive carbs so that I require insulin. So why will I do this? Is because I'm kind of upset at the conventional wisdom that keeps everyone sick. There's a few doctors and a few other doctors that aren't MDs, they're holistic doctors, and there's some chiropractors that really understand how the body works and are getting a few small messages out. I've seen a growth in this recently. So people like Dr. Eckberg on YouTube understands how the body works. He just lays it all out. I watch him every single week. He's got like 30 million views. There's a couple other doctors. There's a couple MDs. There's a nephrologist up in Canada that just talks about fasting, the benefits of fasting. He blows apart all these studies, and there's a lot of disinformation and cherry-picked data, and he points it all out. And so I want to get out there and help make people well. I mean, Jesus came to make you well. He doesn't make you sick. The enemy makes you sick. And so my job is to attack the enemy. It's a calling on my life, and to destroy his kingdom as much as possible. And so I want to take this message out to a TEDx stage someday. I know I need work, but that's what I'm here for. So hopefully this video works and I'm not too frustrated, and you have a great weekend. I'll see you in the live later today, Saturday, October 19th at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Bye.